to another episode of Taylor's Take on Science. Today we are going to be exploring the world of earth science. Yay! Now don't you worry, I'll make sure this activity rocks your world. Get it? Rocks your world? Oh, forget it. Come on, let's get started. Today we're going to be focusing on weathering and erosion. For those of you who don't know, weathering is the natural process that causes rocks to break down over time, while erosion is the moving or shifting of those smaller pieces of broken rock by natural forces, which is wind, water, or ice. Weathering must occur first before erosion can occur. So today we're going to be simulating your weathering and erosion with skittles, sugar cubes, and gravel. To begin the first activity, I'm going to start with 2 cups of water. I'm then going to place 3 skittles in each cup. Once the skittles have been dropped, I'm going to swirl 1 cup for 2 minutes while the other cup stays put. After I've swirled the cup for 2 minutes, I'm going to make observations between the difference between the 2 cups. So the first cup really showed weathering because the skittles no longer have any color left to them. And the coloring that did come off stayed in the original location, so no erosion really occurred. But if you look at the second cup, weathering and erosion occurred because not only did me moving the water take the color off of the skittles, but it also carried the color throughout the entire cup. As you can see, the skittles activity involves both weathering and erosion because not only is the water changing the color of the skittle, but the water is also moving the color away from its original location. Pretty cool, huh? The next activity involves a cup of gravel and 5 sugar cubes. So I'm going to place the 5 sugar cubes in the cup of gravel and use my hand to cover it and shake for 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds is up, I'm going to observe what happened to the sugar cubes. So as you can see, some of the corners have become chipped due to the rocks, and you can see some of the particles have come off on the rocks. So now I'm going to shake again for 30 more seconds. After I've shaken the cup twice, I'm going to observe what happened to the sugar cubes. As you can see, more corners have come off of the sugar cubes due to the rocks hitting it. And there are a bunch of particles from the sugar cubes in the rock mixture. This activity modeled a type of weathering known as abrasion, and it happens when rocks and sediments grind past each other when water or wind rushes over it. Pretty fascinating if you tell me. Both of these activities tie into many NGSS standards, including 2 ESS 2.1, which is compare multiple solutions designed to slow or prevent wind or water from changing the shape of land. So for this standard, I would have the students try and come up with ways to slow or prevent the water from taking the color away from the skittles, or slow or prevent the gravel from chipping the sugar cubes. Another standard is 4 ESS 2.1, which is make observations and or measurements to provide evidence of the effects of weathering or the rate of erosion by water, ice, wind, or vegetation. So for that standard, I would do simply what I just showed to you. And the last standard is 5 ESS 2.1, which is develop a model using an example to describe ways the geosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere interact. So the Skittles activity kind of resembled this because water was interacting with the Skittle, which was supposed to be simulated as a rock. So that shows how the geosphere and the hydrosphere interact together. Some of the benefits of this activity is that the students are able to try and see different ways that weathering and erosion can occur. But one of the challenges is that it can get quite messy with all the water and rocks that the students have to shake and swirl around. As you can see, this activity can fit a variety of standards and grade levels. However, you don't just have to do this activity during a lesson on weathering and erosion. There are many related concepts that fit this activity, including landforms, because some landforms have been formed by weathering and erosion, the rock cycle, because we use the simulation of rocks for some of our activities, the 4 spheres of Earth and how they interact, because for our Skittles activity, we had the Skittle represent the rock, and then we had the water, which is the geosphere and hydrosphere, and even the general concept of change. Well, that's all the time we have today, folks. Until next week, I'm Scientist Taylor, and always remember, you matter, literally.